I used to see holograms, so it's kind of like the movie Avatar of inside the body. So I do not see on demand. If you wish, I cannot close my eyes and just scan the body on demand, look into your head. It's automatic. My vision goes where there is a problem. So if it's in your heart, I will see your heart and hologram, like an MRI or a full HD X-ray. So this is when there is usually what I would call a 3D problem, a physical problem that needs to be reported to a medical practitioner, official one, doctor or surgeon or whatever, so they can double check the information. Sometimes I do not see, I just know. I have the inner knowing that this is what's happening. So that happens. For example, I would say a growth in a kidney, or I would say you have a growth on your right kidney. It just comes like this. It's like an inner knowing, but I'm 100% certain it's correct.
Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Yeah.
Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome to the Praise the Sun podcast, where I'm honored to have on my guest, Patrice Krysztofiak. How are you doing, Patrice? It's nice to
Um,
see you again.
I'm so good. Thank you for having me on your show, Sage. It's amazing. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, wonderful. Yes, we conducted this interview the first time, but the quality wasn't so good. So we said we must do it again. And plus, it was such a good time. So it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Patrice. So the first question is, can you tell me what your life was like before this life that you live now, before this spiritual awakening? What was your life like? How did you get into this world?
So before so I'm 53 years old now. I'm going to try to speak slowly because people cannot understand my accent sometimes. I was just a regular, I was a regular person, let's say. I was working as a computer programmer, writing software, and then I started building websites, so regular office job. I worked from home, so I was a office worker from home. Now everybody's today commuting, but 20 years ago, that was not that common. So that was my life, just a regular person.
Ah, just a regular person. Yes.
I don't know.
So, yeah. So, how, what kind of sparked the awakening in you that you are now having the capability and the gift and skill to see into people's bodies to see their ailments?
Well, in 2019, we built a website with a friend. It was Dentist Directory in France. And I actually got sued for it because it did not respect regulation. We goofed around with something that was too big for us, and we did not really realize what we were doing. We were just like kids playing with technology. Because you are in my normal life, let's say, I was in the rat race all the time when I was a normal person. Now I'm just crazy, but that's okay. And so we got sued for this website. Well, I got sued because my name was in the legal term, so I was responsible fully. I took the full responsibility for it, and I risked 3 years in jail and 300,000 euros of fine. So that's about $300,000. So what I did not understand at the time is that the examples of fine they give you is for the worst criminals. This was not explained to me, and that really put me in a profound state of depression, to a state I did not want to live anymore. So every night I would go to bed and I was hoping not to wake up the next day. So I didn't have suicidal thoughts, but I really didn't want to live anymore. So this is really what started the process of my shifting to my new me, the crazy me, if you'd like, depending on the point of view of the observer. And after months of depression, my mom passed away at the same period, so I had a double depression. I don't know if you can call that a double depression, but the full package. And this is when my guitar teachers, Patrice, you cannot continue like this. You have to do something. You should try meditation. And my wife told me to do meditation practice before, way before, actually, even before the problems I had. And I did not listen to her. I was like, "Oh, yeah, meditation, what's that? Blah, blah, blah." And I did because it was my last resort, basically. Meditation had to work. So I started practicing meditation every day for weeks and weeks and weeks. I found an app in French called Zenfi. It's in French. I really like the voice of the guy. And one day during a meditation, I entered into the light, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in into the light, and I was so happy and joyful. But I entered for 20 seconds, so it's actually a really long time to be in the zone when you are in that kind of energies. It was the first time I experienced energies, we could say it like this. And I was just surrounded by light and love. It was like I was in the center of a sun. It was absolutely incredible, and I was laughing, laughing, laughing. And my wife came into the room and she said, "Why are you laughing? Why are you so happy? Did you take any substances or something?" Well, I didn't, because we don't do. And I said, "No, you entered into the light," and it was incredible. So it was really the beginning of my awakening process. And the lawsuit was still going on. So we were not at the point of the lawsuit yet, because the lawyers, they discussed with the commerce, the police of commerce, and the dentist association. We didn't know what was going on behind the scene at that time. So for people who want to know the finality of that story, I didn't end up being completely sued. They wanted a settlement, so we just wanted a little bit of money, basically. So I just paid a fine, and that was it. So it was a big sense of relief. But during this period, I felt like a lion in a cage in a house. So I said to my wife, "Let's go to Portugal." That was our dream, to go to Portugal. So we packed our suitcases and we decided to spend a few months in Portugal. So we got there, and I was 50 years old, and I decided to take care of myself for the first time in my life, which I had never done before, because I was always in the rat race, work, 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 work. This is why I said normal guy, because so many people like us are in the rat race, and this is absolutely ridiculous. So I went to a massage place by the apartment we were staying in Portugal. It's called Instituto Oya. It's run by a lady called Daniela. And I just went for a massage, but I did not know she did energy work, because I did not know energy work existed. I had no idea about this universe at all. I had never heard about the word Reiki. And every week I would go, and she would do a massage, but she would also do ritual energy works, access bars, things like this. Things that I think, well, what's this? It's just bullshit. That's what I thought. You just put your hands on your head, and I'm like, what's this? And one day I was laying on my belly, actually, and I felt like static electricity going on my back like this. I suspect she did this move with her hand. And then I felt a ripple of energy on my back, and it went like a blast, like, and then I barfed energy. I went, "Whoa," like in the movies, The Green Mile. And I said, "What's that? What's that?" And she said, "I got it. I got it." But I didn't know what she was talking about. That was absolutely incredible. And I believe really this point was a turning point in my awakening and access of my abilities, which came later on.
Okay. So after that, wasn't there some type of health issue or something, like a parasite or something that you had worked through?
Well, it was actually my wife.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we went back to France after, because we had to go back to France because our business is located here. It's in our house. We are home business. Uh, and I said, "Let's do like the lady in Portugal. Let's do a ritual." Basically, what she did with me, because I could just see what she did. We could just replicate. So we basically just goofed around with energy. And then we were doing pranayama. I was doing pranayama, breathing on our body. And I saw a flash, because my wife was sick for many, many years. I saw a flash, and I did not know what it was. I was like, "What's that? This is weird. That looks like a mouth harp, the musical instrument." Like, now, now, now. And I wasn't sure if I really did see something or not, actually. So I continued, and we were laughing so hard because this was so ridiculous. I was doing Breath of Fire. I was like, and we were laughing. We were in tears. This was so funny. And bam, a second flash. I said, "Oh my God, I have to go on Google Image," and I typed something. And the first picture that came up was actually the first visual I got, and it was a picture of a parasite. I was like, "Oh my God, this is what you have. Nobody can figure out for years, but this is exactly what you have. This is what was in my vision." And we got very lucky, because it was during a lockdown episode, and we got an appointment with a doctor online, which they didn't do before COVID, actually, in France. And we did a meeting on Zoom. I mean, it's a private Zoom for doctors, but it's the same thing. And they did not ask us how we got this information. It was like a plan of the universe. They didn't ask us for blood tests or anything. They said, "Oh, I have never heard about this parasite. Let me look it up in my dictionary." So they looked it up. They called us a few hours later. They said, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is true. This exists," because they didn't know it. And they just gave us a prescription with the medicine. It was like a $2 medicine that you buy at the pharmacy, and we got it. And she got healed. So she took the medicine, and she got like plenty of little dots on her skin. All the parasites came out because the parasite was actually eating her from the inside, and it started eating her lungs. So she had difficulties breathing. And from that point, she healed. So this is my first medical intuition. So it was not energy work per se, but it was medical intuition with association of scientific medicine, because some scientific medicine works, of course. We still need science.
Okay. And so for the people who are hearing that and they're thinking like, how do I make sure I don't have anything, any symptoms or anything like the parasite? Could you tell us what the parasite was and how you got rid of it?
So the parasite name was called ankylostoma. We believe she got that from sushi. If you eat sushi or raw thing, raw meat, like even in Europe, they sell like tartar, raw meat, or raw fish, you're most likely to have parasites, to be clear. It's very rare. That is why many civilizations actually eat really spicy food, because it actually kills the parasites. But if your immune system is too low, you cannot get rid of them. So medical disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. And so we got rid of it with conventional medicine that you buy at the pharmacy. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. So to double back to the the beginning of the things that you were saying when we talked about the rat race. Why do you think that the rat race is designed as it is? Like why do we have that structure there?
this is a very good question. It always puzzled me. I think it's a trap. We've been programmed that way to make us believe that if we buy more stuff, we are happier. But this is a big lie. You don't need to buy and own more things. A bigger car doesn't make you more happy. It's a big lie. And I don't know how we got there. It probably took thousands of years to get to that point, but this is where we are at, and this is what is taught in schools, basically. You need to be successful, you need to be a doctor, you need to be an engineer. This is bullshit. This is big bullshit, because maybe your perfect ideal job is to make ice creams, because that would bring joy to people, and you'll be super happy. You'll still be abundant financially. You will have everything you need: a roof, heating, food in your plate, happy family. But we've been programmed, and it's been passed on from generations to generations to generations. And I fell into that trap of the Occidental man.
Yes, as someone who work in the finance industry, I've definitely come to understand that we've become greatly obsessed with exponential growth at any cost, and that's why these companies are essentially polluting the planet, destroying the ecosystem, and it's all for profit. It's ridiculous. But I mean, from my perspective, it seems like we're doing these things. So we've been programmed to do these things to keep us distracted from looking within, looking into ourselves, developing some of the skills and the insights that you have and other people have. So I guess this is why this exists between us. This platform and other people's platform is to help disseminate this information to help people awaken and look within inside of yourself.
Yeah.
But to focus back on the things that you've developed. So when you see these, when you have clients, when you see these ailments within people, how does it present itself to you in your awareness? How do you see these things?
So it depends. I practiced a lot. When I started, I would receive a lot of visuals in dreams, completely lucid dreams. I had to wake up in the middle of the night to write down what I saw, because it would be a very easy access to the zone. I used to see holograms, so it's kind of like the movie Avatar of inside the body. So I do not see on demand. If you wish, I cannot close my eyes and just scan the body on demand, look into your head. It's automatic. My vision goes where there is a problem. So if it's in your heart, I will see your heart and hologram, like an MRI or a full HD X-ray. So this is when there is usually what I would call a 3D problem, a physical problem that needs to be reported to a medical practitioner, official one, doctor or surgeon or whatever, so they can double check the information. Sometimes I do not see, I just know. I have the inner knowing that this is what's happening. So that happens, for example, I would say a growth in a kidney, or I would say you have a growth on your right kidney. It just comes like this. It's like an inner knowing, but I'm 100% certain it's correct. This has happened several times, and people tell me, yes, I just got checked last week. How do you know this? Because they didn't even tell me during the reading, actually. So the clairvoyance was a very, very big thing at the beginning of my journey. I would see full HD visuals with colors. For people who have done medicinal plants, it's sometimes colors that don't exist on this planet. It's hard to explain. You might think I'm completely out of my mind, but I do not have a name for these colors. So I cannot prove what I'm saying.
So when you see the colors, is there like a certain color that indicates that there's something wrong? Like if I had something wrong with my throat, would my throat be like red, or like is there any certain colors that correspond with certain things?
This is where the universe is very well designed. They use a vocabulary I can understand, and it's like that with every other person like me, because we are millions on the planet. I'm not unique. Uh, who can see? They use the vocabulary, you know. So if you are more educated than me, you will have detailed vocabulary. Let's say you're a doctor, because there are doctors who can actually see, or nurses. There are so many nurses who can see stuff, but they just don't speak because they're afraid of losing their job or having problem in a conventional environment. For example, if it's in your throat, I'm going to see your throat and I might see a sign danger, like or a road sign danger or stop, something like this. Or arrow, even sometimes I see arrow, it's here, it's here. This is how it's displayed to me. It's like augmented reality, like I had the Google glasses, but without Google glasses. Sorry, Google. I didn't want to advertise for you.
I think, if I recall correctly, I think they discontinued that as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand the virtual reality aspect of how it would appear to you. So if we were to put this like in a dimensional space, do you feel like this is like an extra sensory dimensional experience? Maybe you're peeking to 4D, 5D, 6D. Is there something kind of dimensional aspect about it?
Yes, there is definitely a multidimensional aspect. So I usually, people ask me how I would describe that. I would describe that as Photoshop layers. For people who know Photoshop, you compose the pictures with different layers. And I can navigate through the layers that compose actually your body. And all the layers are not in 3D as we think. And I can see the layer that's broken. So this is where it gets very interesting. Sometimes the energy goes through me. I just channel, I'm an open channel, apparently a clear channel. That's what people describe. So I just repeat what I've been told. The energy goes through me and I can see a dense energy like in my body and I start shaking and I'm like, oh. And the layer gets repaired. So I cannot explain it. It's like reprogramming or redrawing a broken Photoshop layer. And then your picture becomes complete again. And some people, okay, I don't like this, but I don't like this word. So medical disclaimer again, I'm not a magician. I do not heal people. Some people recover by miracle. Sometimes their pain goes away instantly. And sometimes their ailments disappear within weeks or months. It's mind blowing. Not for everybody. I want to be very clear. I do not have 100% success rate. Huh? There's still many mysteries where it's not solvable.
Yeah, and I think that's important for a lot of people to understand is that a lot of different not just alternative medicine, but medicine in general, it doesn't always, everything doesn't have a 100% guaranteed success rate for anything. Doctors, dentists, whatever, practice it is, it's not always guaranteed that this will be the outcome. So, you know, it's, I understand how these modalities work. So I appreciate you explaining these things. So is there so when you before you have the session, after you have the session, is there a way that you feel and tell that there is something that has taken place within inside of this person? Is like a snapshot of before and after that you can feel intuitively or connect with this person?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, actually, when I do session, sometimes it starts hours before, uh, 5, 6, 10 hours before. Let's say I have a session at 7 p.m. Sometimes it starts at 8 a.m. I start receiving information already. My body starts shaking. I'm like this all day. I'm like, oh my god, what's going on for my session? I can feel the energy being moved, and I'm starting to sometimes receive information. I know, like, oh my god, that guy has a problem with his shoulder. I already know. Uh, when there's a lot of energies to be moved, it can start, yeah, 10 hours before, maybe earlier. I don't know because I am sleeping. But and after the session, there is this inner peace. Even people describe that. They describe either a buzz, like they had a glass of wine, or inner peace. Some people felt inner peace for the first time in their life. They're like, oh my God, I don't have monkey mind. How did you do this? I have no idea how I do this. Let's be clear. I'm just a channel. The energy moves through me. And the more I let go of this one and I enter into my heart space, the better the results are. So this is kind of tricky for people who have a monkey mind or who want to know what's going on, because sometimes the least we understand, the more results we have. This is a tricky one to crack.
Yes, indeed, a tricky one to crack. Um, so before you have these sessions with people, or maybe not even before. So, what exactly is the thing that you are doing to help facilitate the healing process? I understand that you are not the healer, but you're helping. So, what exactly is your role in this healing process that these people are going through after you have identified the issue?
So I went to see many channelers to find this information because I wanted to know what was happening. I did not need to understand it technically, because I knew some people would ask me this question, and it was out of curiosity. So what they said, I'm going to repeat what they said. I went to see actually Cindy Edison for that and over. And I opened a channel and I raised the frequency of the people around me, but that also works at a distance via Zoom, for example, like or a video call. Because people who have a problem have a lower frequencies. So by bringing the frequency up, because this basically everything is frequency. It's a frequency war. This is what Wendy Kennedy, the channeler, talks about. She always talks about frequency war, and it really resonated with me. By raising the frequency of the person, that's like tuning forks, you become adjusted to a higher vibration, and your body starts to access the ability to heal itself, because everybody can heal themselves alone. It's just that the human forgot, because we're always in the rat race, and this knowledge has been lost within history. I don't know when, why, probably thousands of years ago. It's been hidden or removed from us. I don't know, it's not very clear. And I can transmute dark energies. This, I would say, one of my gift, if we can say like this. I can see dark areas of energy, so it's not always on the body. Sometimes it's outside of the body. This is when I vomit stuff, like in the movie The Green Mile. And the dark zones disappear. I barf like crazy, I cry, I make weird noises, I cough. Sometimes it's actually the client is having a somatic reaction at the same time. They are like shaking, they are seeing colors, they are seeing things, they are crying, their head is going insane. And when that dark energy is removed, their body starts to heal itself, because there is no more blockage, if you want. That's what people say, remove blocks so you can heal. We're talking about the same thing. So this is one aspect that I can do. So not everything is blocks like this. It's for certain clients only.
Okay. So, after the people have these blockages worked on, what are the after effects of this clearing of helping clear of the blockages?
So effects I notice, I can just speak from the data I have. So if I don't have proof or anything, just let's be clear, I don't want to have problems with the medical industry. For pain, for example, usually pain goes away. very, very fast, usually instantly, or it's reduced, especially people with chronic pain. It works really, really well with chronic pain because it's like an energy block. We're talking about Chinese meridians and things like this, things that is not really proven by science, but well, maybe Chinese meridians are proven by science by now, I don't know. The energy can flow through the body. And so if let's say there is a block here and the energy doesn't flow, you have pain in your shoulder. When it's removed, the energy flows, the pain disappears. It's instant. For problems like, for example, skin problem like eczema or psoriasis, when the blockage is removed, it's not instant because the body still needs to regenerate itself, so you have to wait. And usually for a skin problem, it's 3 months. It's like 84 days is usually the usual time I've noticed before people's skins doesn't have eczema anymore. And same thing for stomach or digestive issue, because the gut has to repair itself. It takes some time. It's not instant. It's not. We're not magicians.
Yes. So for the dark energies, right? What are the reasons why these come up in people? What are the causes of these dark energies that you are observing within people?
So we're going to get into the crazy stuff right now. People, get ready. Call 911. Call 911 and get me a straight jacket.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's go all the way in.
This is things I had never heard of before. I would never have believed somebody who told me this. There are different cases. So the emotions, yes, okay. This is what happened actually during my lawsuit when I had the investigation by the police. I started to cry, and the inspector said, "Why are you crying?" And the first thing that came to my mind said, "I don't want to have cancer. I prefer to let the energy out." It's like my subconscious knew. But if you store emotion inside your body, you get sick. I have no idea where it came from. I never heard this before. It was like a natural thing. Like it's like I knew deeply that was true. And she looked at me, the inspector looked at me like I was nuts. So what are you talking about? I knew deep down it was true. If you store stuff inside, you get sick. Uh, there are many scientific studies in France who say that it's not true. It is not proven that stored emotion can cause disease. This is absolute bullshit. I'm sorry. You cannot prove something that's invisible anyway, so we cannot touch emotion. So we will never be able to prove it. We just have to accept it's a truth. This is a very big cause of disease and other things, entities. I don't know what that is. I've talked with other practitioners and about what we see. It's energies that attach to your body. I have no idea where they're coming from. I believe some from extra dimensions or something like this. It's not very clear. So it's an energy, but since we don't know what it is, when we look at it, our brain creates a picture with the energy we receive. So this is why many people, practitioners who can see energies, they say, "Oh my God, you have a lobster attached on your back," or something like this. And people have back pain, and they see the practitioner would see a lobster or a spider on the back of the person, because our brain doesn't know the vocabulary, so it uses the closest frequency to what we know in our human dictionary. So this is also another big cause of disease, let's call it like this, or conditions. I had a lady, she had an entity inside her. She could actually feel it because people are way more advanced than we think. Some people are, even some of my clients are way more advanced than me. They know what they have, they can see it, but they cannot remove it. So that's why they call people like us. I had a lady, she could not enter into her clothes anymore. She said, I have something, I've been trying to remove it for years, like 2 years, something like this. This session was insane. It lasted a few hours, and she could feel the energy moving inside her body. And when I bathed it, it was like an entity that looked like some sort of slug, black slug. This is the best way I could describe it. I bathed it. I was bathing in my room, and the lady deflated. I mean, it's funny said like this, but she said, "Oh my God, I can fit in my clothes again." This is. She sent me an email a few hours later, and she said, "Oh my God, I can fit in my clothes again." She lost 1 inch of waist size just after that session, so she didn't do a diet or anything. Science never figured it out. I'm not making this up. This is incredible. We have to be conscious that this exists. This is very common in hospitals, especially in the emergencies, because I have nurses from the ER who come to see me because they catch stuff from the people who come in the emergencies because there are low densities energies because people are sad and low vibration. And many nurses have pain, they don't even know why. And when they realize they got something at the hospital that is energetic, they ask people like us to remove it. So it's not necessarily me. I'm just here to spread the word. So people know that exists and they need to find practitioners who can remove this if they catch something in their work environment, for example, or it can be anywhere.
Yes, yes, and I'm glad we're able to talk about some of these extrasensory dark beings or energies as well, because as some people who might be following this page for a while know, I've seen these things mostly in the middle of the night or sometime during the 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. window, or even 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. window. Is that I might wake up and I'll see a dark spider or a dark crab or something like that. Some of those type of energies, and it seems like other people have seen these things as well, but it seems to be less commonly talked about in the public light because, oh, they're seeing these things, you're crazy, or you have this going on or that going on. So I'm glad that we also get to talk about these things, because we have a limited range of frequency that we can see with our eyes. So only naturally there are things that we cannot perceive of that might be existing in a different state of being, that can interact with us and it can affect us. It might be feeding off of our energies or making us sick or getting us
Mhm.
to eat things that are unhealthy because it feeds off of that energy or something like that.
Yeah, they can play with your mind, and some people get psychic attacks from that. I did not believe at all. I was like, "What psychic attacks? What are you talking about? This is crazy stuff." And I never had the psychic attacks, and people were asking me, "Patrice, you never got the psychic attack?" I said, "No, I don't know what that is." And
Exactly.
also, yeah, and also I want to speak about the kids who are coming in right now, the new kids, the new generations. They come clear of karma and everything, and they can see energies. So your kids are not crazy; they see stuff. I have many families with kids who come to see me and they say, "Oh, my son can see monsters." I say, "Yeah, that's true. There is a monster on your wall." Your kid is actually correct. So don't tell them it's not real. I mean, okay, you have to use discernment because then they get crazy with imagination. But if you are scared or at night or something like this, like they say, "Mom, there's a monster in my room," but actually might be true because kids before 7 they can see everything.
Yes, I know, especially my son, because when he was very young, he was very aware of different things, telling me the different things that he was seeing. So, there's often times that we saw the same thing, and I didn't even mention it to him. He just saw exactly what I saw. I was like, wow, this is getting kind of crazy. And at least for me, a lot of times I felt the most. Since I've moved, I haven't really felt it, but back when I live in a very densely populated deep city area, big apartment buildings, lots of people, lots of energies, very often I would have like really intense nightmares where I would feel like something was constricting me. Some people have sleep paralysis, but that was definitely not what I was experiencing. Sleep paralysis is when you feel like you can't move. I know I was being literally attacked because it felt like something was grabbing my energetic body and squeezing it. And I would often have these nightmares, and it felt like something was feeding off of me. Very
Oh,
scary time for
oh
me
yeah,
and very depressing.
I know some people they wake up with bruises or scratches. They have no idea where it's coming from. This is a real. This is very rare, but this is real.
Yes.
Many people describe also what you say like with like pressure or even punching something sometimes, or somebody sitting on their bed and they can actually feel a physical impact. Like there's somebody at night coming to sit down on my bed and the energy feels bad. I don't know what it is.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I'm glad we have people who are able to perceive these things, work with people, facilitate the healing of the different blockages, and get these people the help that they need, so they don't feel like they're going crazy when they experience a lot of these things. But anyways, moving on from the that path, I remember also that we talked about like past lives having influence in people's current lifetimes, and there are things that happened to them back then that are kind of either they haven't worked through yet, it's making them sick, or stuff like that. Can we talk about that for a little bit?
Yes, definitely. Uh, this is something I've been asked many times. It's like, what do I think the main source of problem is, statistically speaking? Most of my clients' past lives is a very, very big factor. I would say like 80% of my clients who have chronic problems is from past lives. So if you have a skin problem, for example, you got burned by acid in a medieval castle, or burned by oil, warm oil, boiling oil, in a past life, and then we clear that past life. So you could do it with hypnosis or other techniques. It's just that I clear past life very fast, so that is very convenient. You don't have to spend 3 hours in a hypnosis thing. And then the results are really quick. But I can only clear the past lives where there are no lesson for this life, and this is where like practitioners like UHHT or things like this are very good, because sometimes you still have a lesson to learn in this life. This is when you need to know the story, and the QHHT or other techniques for regression are very good, because you see the story yourself, and then you connect the dots, and your mind goes, oh my god, yes, this is true, I still have this problem in this life. I eat like crazy because in the past life I did not have food for a lifetime and I died out of starvation, something like this, for example. In my case, what I clear usually, because that happened many times, I used to see the past life, but some were very, very traumatic, because I've seen war scenes, villages being destroyed, people being killed, and stuff like this. I was crying, I was barfing, that was horrible. I usually clear the traumas where people got abused, attacked, killed, tortured. There's no lesson for this life, obviously. You're not going to be tortured in this life. We are at peace. Well, it's like the world has never been as much as peace, even if the media wants to make us believe otherwise. So I clear all the traumatic things. And people describe a sense of well-being and like a weight lifted off their shoulder. They feel lighter. It's like there's no more burden for them. There's also a lot of people who were persecuted. I'm talking especially about the light workers. This happens very often. They're like, oh my God, I'm afraid. I don't know why. I'm afraid of everything in this life. Fear, 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 fear. And when I clear the persecution past life, and this like their mindset changes the next day. They're not fearful anymore. This is absolutely incredible.
Yes. So for the people who perhaps they feel like there's something that's going on that they just cannot figure out, and they have a hinting or intuitive feeling, maybe I think this is past life related. At least I had a friend who I can't remember what idealisms that she had before, but she went from, I don't think she believed in past lives, to now she really is like really big believer of past lives and that whole influence as well. So for people who might be having something that is affecting them in that way, what are the usual symptoms of something like that? Like this could be past life related if you're having this issue going on or that issue going on.
Well, already if you're watching this show, you're on the right track. You're not here by accident. You're not here by accident, because you find people who can help you. This is very, very strange. Uh, this is what I've been told before I started, actually. I've been told by many mediums, people will find you because they will know it's true. They will feel your vibration. So maybe I'm not right for you, but now you have the past life idea in your head. Find the practitioners who resonate with you. Uh, it's very, very hard to prove this is real, of course. But listen to your heart. Get out of this. Go in a meditation state or something like this. Relaxed state. If you don't do meditation, you put relaxing music. You just go on your couch and you just tune in. Feel your body and ask yourself, is this past life related? And feel if it's a yes or a no. That will really help you. You can know, your body knows the truth, actually. If you listen very, very carefully, try to practice how to discern a yes and a no in your body. I reached a point where my head does yes automatically and no like this. It took me 3 years. It's not instant. Like not going to learn. Maybe some of you will learn in 1 hour, but for some other people it will take longer. So I'm just giving my journey as an example. It took me 3 years to get my body to answer yes or no. But then you can ask, is the source of the problem this or that or that? And you will feel a yes or a no. But you will know. Deep down, you know, because your soul knows. And this is what we are trying to reconnect to, our soul, basically. Because we need to get out of the rat race and quiet our minds and be able to listen to the absolute truth. So the absolute truth is, it's like what they say in quantum physics. It's from the observer side, so it's your truth. This might not be my truth, but it is your truth, and we will agree on that. But it's your truth, and my truth is slightly different. because we share the same planet, but the observer creates a different reality. This is kind of tricky concepts, but you get my idea, I hope.
Yes, yes, I understand completely. Yes, um, and well spoken. Thank you. So, what after you've had this awakening and you've had these clients that you've worked with and you've been doing this practice, what do you feel is your specific calling in life? Why is it that you do the things that you do currently now?
So I was very lucky. I was shown my mission on this planet by my guides during a dream. And some mediums actually told me the same thing. I was like, what are they talking about? So my mission on this planet, because everybody has a mission, and sometimes people think, oh my God, I have to build something. I don't know what I need to do. Maybe I need to build a hospital or a healing center or something. My mission is just to walk in the streets. This is silly, but this is my mission. This is what they showed me, and I know it's true. Some mediums told me the same thing. They say, Patrice, everywhere you walk, you change the vibration of the place. So they showed me in a dream walking the street, and I'm emitting these waves, and it shifts people behavior and mood actually. So it's like a butterfly effect. I think it's called like this. So people are sad, they cross my path, and they became happy 2 hours later. So this is actually my mission. That's what has been shown to me. And my gift is actually not healing. I mean, I don't like the word healing, but let's call it healing for energy work. It's networking. And this is a big challenge. I'm being flooded with clients, and I'm telling them, I'm not the best person for you, but I know who is. I have a very big address book of energy workers who are the real deal. I actually created a website specifically for this. It's called medical-intuitive.org. And I can tell you who is the best person for what you have. And this is I met a lady who is reading. I forgot her name. I will put it back on my website. I will have to figure it out to remember. And she said, Patrice, your real gift is networking, and you are not doing. You are not in your real vibration in your previous work because I worked like a hermit in the middle of the forest. She said, you're supposed to connect people. This is also what the lady in Portugal told me. She said, Patrice, you're going to do triage. So I would send people to different spaces, and she thought I would do this in her center. But that did not resonate with me. And now I'm realizing it's going to be on a global scale because I receive emails and people say, Patrice, I saw your interview. Can you help me? And sometimes I say no because I hear the answer. And they say, oh, why don't you help me? I say, no, it's not me. I'm not. It's not that I cannot. But I know who is because I can see the vibration of the energy worker and on the client, and I can see who is compatible. And sometimes they don't book with the other practitioner because they saw me on an interview. So this is my mission is actually not to do energy healing work, let's call it like this, is to network with people and connect practitioners and clients with problems so they have the best outcome and to reduce their budget in healing because this also costs a lot of money in the end. If you have to go to find 20 practitioners before you find the real one that works for you, this is tricky because not everybody works for everybody. This is a trick. We're talking about frequencies. Let's say you're sick because you have a 100 hertz disease. Let's speak in radio term. You need to find a healer who can deal with 100 hertz, and it's not that easy. This is tricky information because it's very abstract. But Wendy Kennedy speaks about that, the frequency war. I'm back again to Wendy Kennedy because I love her. This is what it's about. It's to match the frequencies. And this is why sometimes you see somebody on an interview and you resonate with them because there's a real deal for you. Deep down, your heart knows. Listen to your heart and take an appointment with that guy. So it might not be me.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, thank you for that. So let's talk about intuition, right? We've spoken about intuition a few times today. What is intuition to you? Could you describe that awareness, that knowledge, that feeling? What is intuition to you?
That's a good question. What's intuition? So first of all, everybody has intuition. Just that we forgot how to access it because we're always busy. It's actually even harder in the big cities. V8 engines, police sirens, TV, big signs, everything. Um, your body knows the truth. So let's say you're in a meeting. If you know how to quiet your mind in a meeting and be in a relaxed state, not the rat race, you can know who's bullshitting you, clearly. So women have an advantage. You have an extraordinary sixth sense. So for men, we have to practice more to get to that sixth sense. Everybody's intuition is slightly different, but deep down, we're back to the heart space. This is what Joe Dispenza talks about, the heart's coherence. It's hard to say for a French person. And if you can get in your heart space, you can listen to anything. I'm talking about anything. You can even know where there is a parking space. We're talking about very, very refined level of signals that you can feel and you can hear. For example, I'm going to give a few. I was always very connected to my intuition, even as a kid. I never lost it. I was very blessed that way. One day, it was not that long ago, it was like last year, I believe. I went to withdraw some money at the ATM because we had to go to the supermarket. And my wife said, "Are you crazy? We're going to pay by card." I said, "No, I have to go to the ATM." We actually almost got into a fight because she didn't want me to go withdraw some money. Then now I'm going to the ATM, withdraw some money to pay the errands. I don't know why. We will always pay by card. We argued like crazy. Well, you know what it is. And I said, no, I'm going to withdraw some money. I went to withdraw 200 euros, it's like $200. We go to the supermarket. All the card machines at the cashiers were down. We could only pay by cash. So because I listened to this impulse, I had this impulse to do something, and it was the right thing to do. And this has happened many, many times. I cannot explain how it works, but the universe is sending you are bombarded with signals all the time. Your guys are trying to help you, but you need to quiet your mind. This is the universe has your back. It took me a long time to understand this. It took me 52 years. And this is mind-blowing because you will have to take decisions that make no sense. But one you can try with small ones. You just follow your intuition. Or maybe there's a parking space in the next street because that's what you feel like. Just start with things that are easy. I mean, easy, where there is no risk or no cost or something like this. And then you grow your intuition like this. But everybody has it.
The universe has your back. I love that. Yes, that alone should allow people to surrender more and have more trust for making the choices. Because I understand that a lot of times people are conflicted between making the wrong choice. They think if I go this path, then what if I should have taken this path? And this, they get conflicted. They get analysis paralysis, and they don't make any choice at all.
Yeah, and you have your environment also. Your family say, "Oh no, don't do this. It's very bad for you. Don't open this ice cream store. You are going to be ruined." But maybe this is your path because deep down you know it's true. This is what you need to do. You can feel it deep down.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of Dr. Joe Dispenza, how do you feel that he healed himself? How do you think that that whole interaction worked? Because his spine was shattered or something like that, right? When he got into his biking accident.
I don't know exactly his full story. I haven't followed
Oh,
it. I have many of his clients come to see me. They tell me what's happening in his sessions with his groups.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was his story. That was the reason why he even took this path that he's in now. Is that they I guess he got into a biking accident and like his spine was shattered or something like that, and they wanted to put like bolts or nails or something like that, and he got like a second opinion, and the other doctor said the same thing, and he was like, I'm going to heal myself, and he ended up healing himself. And he said
mm.
that if he I guess he had the communication with guys like if I can heal myself, and if this is real, then I'll spend the rest of my life talking about the way to heal your own body. And sure
Yeah,
enough, he healed himself, and now he's helping other people heal themselves from their own ailments, from cancer, from all types of things. I was like, wow, man, this is amazing stuff. But this
yeah. I
is
hear
what's
from many of
happening.
his clients there are miracles happening in his sessions.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm going to put this. I'm going to go for it. There's no ego attached. Uh, he can help a lot of people. His work is absolutely magnificent. I love you, Joe. I don't know you, but I love you. But he cannot help everybody. I think he's missing a key ingredient. It's like this is very hard to say because I don't want to get in the ego mind, but let's say people who are very, very high vibration who can raise the vibration of the group. We're back to the question of vibration. This is what's her name? Lynn McTaggart is trying to do with the. She has something called the power of 8, where she brings 8 healers around 1%. She has incredible results. The problem is How do we find the high vibrational people? Because there is no camera, there is no tool that can measure that. If this is, I believe I've seen a study. It's like if all people are by around kids, little kids, they live longer, something like this. Because their vibration is so high, it makes them happier and their cell regenerate, something like this. We're talking about the same thing. If one person is high vibe, all the groups is pulled up at the same time. I don't know if you ever tried this experiment. If you find a group of people who took ayahuasca or mushrooms, for example, don't take anything and go around them and meditate. You will go high really fast, even if you didn't take the substance, because the vibration of the plants you get also inside you. I believe this is what the monks in Tibet or Nepal they do. They do the same thing, and this is why when people go there, they meditate, they fly instantly. It's like everything is higher vibe. We need to build zones which are higher vibration so we can heal people better. Like I would call that sanctuary, maybe, I don't know. But it's very tricky because we don't know how to find these people because they don't have an ego, they don't advertise, they are hidden, they just work with word of mouth. They're everywhere, all over the world. There's some in my village here. There's like a couple. You would see them in the street, you would feel, oh my God, these people, they are so poor. But they're fantastic healers. They heal the whole town around here, all the towns, all the villagers will go to see them. They're super high vibe, but you cannot tell because they don't care. They know that's what they do it well, and the universe has their back. So how can we bridge the gap so that people who have no idea about this world, how can they find these high vibe people or high vibe sanctuary? Like, for example, the Joe Dispenza retreat or other retreats, there are so many.
Yes, yes, yes. And I was sitting there thinking when you said the zones, right? Well, so you meant like areas where like high vibrational people would be, maybe like a building or a town, or what do you mean by zones specifically?
Yeah, sometimes it's also land somewhere, like by natural springs, or this is basically where all the churches were built. The altar of each church is built on a high vibe point, but we cannot go there. Imagine if we could go there, do an energy session right there. But because
Yes.
they've been blocked by the Roman Church, so we cannot access them. They kept the secret for them. I think they knew. Everybody forgot about this because this was done centuries ago. But I think they knew and they prevented people from accessing these high vibe zones who could bring miracles because they wanted to do it themselves to get the money basically. But they got
Yeah.
the money, but they still failed because they could not do energy work from a place of the heart. This can only work if you work from the heart space. So, and
Yeah, it's when you're driven by profits, then your incentive is already messed up and skewed, which is why my biggest issue that I have is with the healthcare society that we have right now, the economy that we have right now. It's all driven by profits. It's not driven by the desire to help people live and help them heal. It's let me heal you, but here's your bill for $7,000. It's insane. Like
yeah,
it's
but that's going to
sad.
change. I believe we're going to see the shift in our lifetimes and quicker than we think. I do
Yes.
believe it's coming very, very fast. I'm seeing more and more people awakening with incredible gifts. It's like mind-blowing stuff. I'm just, as I said, I'm just a networker. I'm nothing unique, nothing special. I know people who are flying up there you would not even believe.
And speaking of the future, from maybe from your perspective or what you have heard or observed, what do you think is our future? Where are the future's future? What does the future human look like? What is our trajectory for that?
I had a dream, and many people made that dream, so I'm not alone, where the Earth split in two, and there was 5D Earth and 3D Earth. So 5D is a new Earth. I believe we're really going to the new Earth. Another lady in Portugal, she sent me a message. She's a very serious lady. She has her feet down to earth. She's very grounded. And she sent me a message and she said, Patrice, I put my glasses this morning and I saw blurry. So I removed my glasses. I see super clear. My eyes healed themselves just overnight like this. And she said, I think we're shifting dimensions. And she's not a woo-woo lady at all. And I'm like, oh my God, that's true. My body reacted like, ah, that's true. Because I have this feeling that it's true or not. I think it's really shifting. We're going to see a collapse of the. It's going to be hard for a few years. Many channels talk about that. Maybe 2 years of going to be difficult for 2 years. A collapse of the healthcare system that's inevitable. We can see it in France already. It's starting to crumble really bad. A crash probably of the political system also. They're trying to tape, put tape here and there to make it stand, but that's not going to stay for a long time. And most likely a crash of the financial system, but not in the way we think. It's not going to be like in the real estate crash of 2008 or something like this. I think it's more going to be a new way of how people spend their money. I'm getting a yes. We're going to be more careful where we spend our dollars. So instead of buying a cup of coffee at the one you know, that's a $7 coffee, you're going to go to the indie place and everything is going to shift from there. Or you're going to buy something else instead of a coffee. So, I'm not going to buy coffee. I'm going to make my own coffee and I'll drink a glass of water. And we're going to shift the economy progressively like this toward the world. But you can already see it here in France. Even the supermarkets, they are starting to sell local produce. And the quality of the produce increased. Before it was all industrial. We sell more local stuff. The stuff tastes better also. The shift is happening. It's very subtle, but it's there.
Yes, the shift is happening, and at least for me, I choose to see like all things as fractal levels of reality. So as we have the body, we have the cells, and the cells also go through. If I recall correctly, it's mitosis where they kind of they're one and then they split.
Mhm.
And for me, at least, I believe the Earth is also kind of a cell that goes through those changes as well. So when you say the split, that's exactly what I think of a cell split in two, and is with the choice and decision of I want to experience a higher grade of reality because the Earth is its own being as well, and it has the choices that it wants to make as well. So if it wants to experience a higher level of reality, the people who will vibrate on that lower level, they have to you have to exist in a different version of Earth because the Earth that wants to vibrate in 5D, you have to be compatible with the Earth, and the Earth has that resonance field. So, naturally it's kind of going through that purging process.
Yes,
So, and
definitely.
what do you, from your perspective, what does the future humans look like? What are our skills, our abilities? What will be more telepathic? Will we be more psychic? What does it look like?
I don't know if you know Sheila Gillette from the Theo Collective. She channels. She's been channeling for like 50 years, something like this. She said that every human has a unique gift. So this is already a cool thing. You won't be jealous of your neighbor because everybody has a unique gift, and we have to work together. So the 5D human, we have five senses, but then we have extra senses. So for me, for example, I can see through bodies. I can transmute darker energies. I believe darker energies won't probably exist on the 5D Earth. Uh, some people might be able to walk on water. I have no idea. I'm just saying this, or walk through walls. Some people will be able probably to predict the future or look into the past. There are so many ways of having gifts. It's just limited by your imagination. Uh, as I said, like many kids have gifts already. They can see stuff, they can do stuff. That sounds crazy. Some people have inner knowing. Maybe some channelers will channel scientific things like physical inventions. Look at Tesla. What did he do? What did he do with his electric thing? It was like all channeled information, basically, like the free electricity program. We'll have inventors, we'll have so much stuff. We cannot even imagine. It's too big for a human head for now.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because about Tesla, because that's exactly he said it appeared to him in a dream, right? Or at least one aspect of it appeared to him in a dream. And I mean, like for some people that would almost be preposterous, but what he created from that dream is just magnificent. If I recall correctly, Einstein too had something like a dream or something like that.
Yeah, he was also taking some plants to help him. Please, listeners, don't do plants, okay? Only under the supervision of shamans and trained professionals. Don't goof
Exactly.
around with plants because you can bring bad stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. So, so yeah, I do think that we will go on that trajectory. What place do you feel that technology will have for us? Will either be like technology that amplifies some of our psychic abilities and our awareness, or will it eventually become like some of the extraterrestrials that people talk about, where they have consciousness assisted technology, where they have a UFO where they directly interface with their awareness and consciousness? Are we like headed in that direction, or what do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't think about that. I was thinking about more primary technologies to replace missing limbs, for example, or growing back teeth. More basic than you in my aspect of technology. I just want to help people with problems right now. So if you're missing an arm, if we can rebuild your arm, I'm super happy with that. I do not need a computer where I can just control with my mind. I don't care. But maybe yeah, everything is possible.
Yes, yes, I get that too, and I mean, it would be a great thing if you know, for from if what some of these whistleblowers have been saying is true. If we do have, you know, if we do have a secret organization or society that has all that technology already, and they just need to bring it forth, that would be amazing. If we
Oh
have
yeah, we already have
the,
it. I'm sure we already have
hmm
unlimited electricity with gravitational generators. That's for sure. There's a guy, I forgot his name. I think he was interviewed on Next Level Soul. He's been doing that since 1978. He takes 500 mediums and he asks them the same question. So he asks them questions about the future. So this actually saw, like, for example, the famous disease with the lockdown. I'm not going to say the name because YouTube is not a free speech channel anymore. We don't want your channel to be blacklisted. The one that starts with a C, you know. And we actually saw that disease. The guy saw so many things ahead. So he takes 500 mediums and he logs everything, all the information about the future. So we do remote viewing of the future. And they got correct on so many things. And he speaks about the future of electricity. And so he asks how will be the electric production in 2035, something like this. I don't remember the date. I'm just going to make up a date. And they say there's no more production. It's like a black box next to each house or a little black box in a car. And there is no more electric poles and things like this. Everybody's independent and the generator lasts for the life of the house. So we're going to be grid independent for energetic production. We're going to have our own little generator based with gravitational forces. I have no idea how that works. I believe we already have it, but it would create too much damage in the economics right now. It would be imagine all the jobs that would be lost, gas stations and stuff. It would be a disaster.
I think that was Stephen Shorts. I think I had him on my show as well because he worked with well, you said he worked with mediums, but Stephen Schwartz worked with remote viewers, and he had thousands of remote viewers remote view the future, and they said that we moved to a more minimalistic lifestyle. They said that there's that the cars kind of recharge on the road, like the technology has changed so where on while the cars are on the road while they're driving, they automatically get recharged. So there seems to be some type of free energy aspect of it there, and there's going to be some type of great migration because of the climate changing or something like that. So he
Mhm.
says some really fascinating things. I'm probably missing a whole bunch of things, but that's just from what I remember from at least what I interviewed him and what he said. So yeah, if people are interested, definitely go check out that episode. Really good one. But to double back to the last thing that you said, where you said that it was going to displace a lot of people's jobs and stuff. Eventually, we were gonna have to rip off that bandage, right? Like eventually, they're like, are we just waiting for the point of no return where we're, you know, Florida's underwater or something like that, and now we're like, okay, now we have to go this route because we have no choice, like, you know,
Maybe
like
if that's
yeah.
what we need to shift the world, well, maybe that's what we need—a big shock. I don't know, but it's going to
Yeah.
be hard and sad, but we need the electroshock.
It seems like the best motivator, unfortunately, is catastrophe at times. Because the thing that swept the nation in 2020 was a catastrophe for many people. So it seems like that's the only way changes happen is when it threatens the life of not just the people who have less than, but the rich too. That's when we see real big changes because
Mm.
they're afraid of losing all that they have. So. But anyways, we are at the top of the hour, and I like to ask my last few questions. So, what is your definition of love? What does love mean to you?
Oh, that is a very, very good question. It's a very deep question. For me, love is inner peace and taking good care of yourself. Because if you are in love with yourself, you can help others like anything else you can imagine. It's just mind blowing.
Beautifully said. And what does the sun represent to you? What does the sun represent?
So for me, the sun, it is the essence of life.
Essence of life, simple and sweet. Love it. And where can people reach out to you if they want to book a session or learn more?
So people can reach out to me on my website, patricekrysztofiak.com. So just write all the letters or take a Scrabble game and get the 10 points letter out and be like this.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
yeah. So I do individual sessions, but I'm super packed. So I can recommend you somebody if you need. And I do group sessions also once a month. The group sessions are really fun and very, very inexpensive. So that's a good way to experiment my work. And I pick people randomly and answer their questions. It's a really fun and good activity one day a month if you want to experience energy work to see what it's all about.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Beautifully said, beautifully spoken. I feel like I'm just reconnecting with an old friend. I have so much talking to Patrice, and I can't wait to have you back on the show again in the future. So thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much for your
much.
time. I'll put all of Patrice's information in the description box below in case you want to reach out to him. And yeah, do you have anything else to say before you head off, Patrice?
No, I'm just enjoying your presence and enjoying the viewers' energy. The energy is amazing. I can feel the energy of everybody who's listening, and it's, it's absolutely incredible. They're happy, they're loving, and yeah, I
Yes.
can see you with your beer in your hand.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm really hoping to create a good community who's powerful, loving. They have that high vibrational awareness, and it won't be so difficult to find these people anymore. These high vibrational people who have their hearts open, who have the love open, who have the a desire to share knowledge, wisdom, and who want to help the planet to do better. So, yes, thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Praise the sun.